Welcome to this short video that will show you how to set up your eCare so that you can get the most out of it. Firstly, let's go to Results Review. We're going to go to the Laboratory tab and change the default view. At the moment we can only see a small number of results. We want to go to Options, Properties, Defaults. I usually change it to a clinical range, and I like to have a large number of years. You save that, press OK. You also need to do the same in your Radiology tab and the ECG tab if you want all of those results included as well. That's your results. Now we're going to go to Assessments and Fluid Balance and set this one up. Normally we'd see a default of 24 hours of results. This one we go to Options, Customise View, and Preferences. Now I like to do 72 hours, but that causes an error in the system, so change it to the last X and change it to 71 hours, and that will get you 3 days of results, which is good for inpatients. Press OK. Now we're going to go on to Documents. So now we're going to filter our documents to some useful types of document. So normally you only have these presets. If we click on Advanced Filters, we can make our own filters. So first of all, I'm going to make a filter for correspondence. If we click on Clinical Documents and Correspondence and click in there, then we can create a new filter, and I'm going to call that Correspondence. I'm going to save that. Now we have a correspondence filter. Next filter, I'm going to press the New button. I'm now going to make a filter for all radiology reports. This is at the bottom here. I'm going to save that, and we're going to save that as radiology, and that's going to bring in all of our radiology results. I'm going to make another new filter. This one is endoscopy. This time we go the little plus inside radiology, and there's one for endoscopy, and this will include all of our endoscopy results. So we press save, and we're going to call that one endoscopy. Final filter to set up is for echoes. So we're going to create another new filter. This is a slightly unusual way of setting up. You go into Clinical Documents, and it's called a General Clinical Note. So click on that one, and then we want to see a results only encounter, which is up here. And the only thing that this brings up is echo. We're going to save all of those and apply. And now we have our filters that we've set up. Let's have a look at the radiology filter, and you can see here that that's now brought in chest X-ray results. Now we're going to set up our favorite note types when we're creating notes. There's two bits to this. There's the note template and the note type. For the note template, it's very straightforward. We just have to press the star on the note types we want as our favorite. So I use a clerking and post-take note, consult note, free text note, outpatient letter, procedure note, and progress note. I can then go into favorites, and then whenever I'm creating a note, I can choose my favorite template. We're now going to look at the note type to save our favorites. Note type is what it will save as. Here you can see there's a big long list that you don't want to choose through each time. So go to View and Customize, and then select your own favorites from the list on the left. The ones I commonly use are General Medicine GP Letter, General Clinical Note, and a few others, but what you use may be different. Add these all to the list, and then also choose your default at the top. My most common is General Medicine GP Letter, and I'm then going to apply those, and then these will now be my defaults going forward. You must close and restart eCare to save these settings. Okay, now we're going to set up our lists. To do this, you go to Patient List at the top. We click on the spanner here to create a new list. Here you press New if you want to build a new list, and I'm going to show you 3 different types of list. So you can do a location-based list. To do this, you go to Location. You open up Milton Keynes by pressing the plus, and again, and then you choose your unit. So I'm going to choose the ambulatory emergency care unit here. Other important things to do is to make sure you've got the right encounter types. So for most, you're going to be looking at inpatients, so just choose inpatients, but you may also have day cases, for example. And then we want discharge criteria. So we only want patients that have not been discharged. The final thing we can do is we can change the name of our list. We can do down here, for example, and we can do that, and we press finish. We can then move that to our available list, and then it will show. So two other kinds of lists. You can do a provider group list. So this is for patients that are all under one consultant. So we can choose our consultant here. So because she's got test patients, I'm going to use Debbie Phillips. And again, we're going to do the same thing. So we want to have an encounter that is an inpatient encounter and discharged only patients that have not been discharged. I'm going to press finish. And then finally, the third type of list is a custom list. This is where you can just add patients and take them away. So we could call that, for example, interesting patients. Okay. I'm going to move all of those three lists over here, and we can have a look at them. So this is one of the test lists. We can see all the patients here. And then on our interesting patient lists, I'll show you how to add a patient. You click the green icon here to add a patient using MRN or whatever details you have. Choose your encounter, and that patient will then be added to that list. Now we're going to set up our responsive work list. When you go to the list, there's going to be a huge number of columns that we need to clean up. To do this, you click on here, choose Layout Configuration, and now we can remove any columns that we don't need, which I'll do now. So depending on what you do will affect which columns you would like to have there. Once you've removed unnecessary columns, we can now resize it. Okay, so it's good to be able to see the patient's entire name. So now I've got all the key information that I want on there. The other thing I change is I can also move it down to just one row inside. So you click here. And now we can fit many more patients on one page. Okay, so the final thing to set up is the pool. Go to Message Center here, click on Pools, and now click on Manage. Type referral in this box. See all the available referral pools. I'm going to add the acute physician pool. And it's now opened the inbox, and we can see that we've got a message in here. Most consults will come as consults down here, but there will be some that come as messages. Thanks for watching this video today. Goodbye.